It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show. It's our fair part show.
Hello, podcaster.
Bit of Frank Walker in that
Yeah,
one.
there was a little bit. There was a bit of Frank energy in there. Well, I worked in commercial radio for many years now. You hear that often. Hello! And of course, we love Frank Walker and National Tyres and all the advertising they do here at Nova.
Unsponsored post. I genuinely, when I was renovating my house, because of the ads, I was like, well, I better check them out. I went to like Beaumont Tiles, for example. And I thought, well, I better check out National Tiles. Honestly, had the best service.
Wow.
They had the best tiles and at the best prices. This is not an ad. I just genuinely was like, wow, that was a great experience.
I mean, you should have just called Frank directly at this point. If you're at Nova, you should be like,
Could have,
speed
yeah.
dial, just Frank, get me in.
Honestly, though, I had such a good experience there that I was like, next time I need tiles, I will come back here.
Did
And then
you
even
go-
I didn't, and this was the bit I loved the most, I didn't use because I bought more than I needed because I feel like they suggested buy 10% more than you need because of breakage,
Yeah.
bad cuts, etc., mismeasurements. So I bought 10% more than I needed, had a good tiler, didn't have any breakage, so I had roughly 10% of my tiles left over, took them back, they gave me a full refund.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Did you then go to Chris and Mari's for your gardening needs?
What's that?
Oh, it must be a Melbourne one.
Never heard of that.
Oh my God, really? Oh, their ads are iconic. Chris and Mari, and the gag was that Chris was actually always naked. And Mari would go, Chris, and he'd go, our hedges are so long, you can, not have to wear
Oh,
any
yeah.
clothes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
she'd like call and be like, put some clothes on. It's great. And then they did TV, and he would be naked, but with like a bit of hedge in front of him.
Yep.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
the Euros ad that Kuda did?
Who?
Kuda Fides. I think he played for Carlton back in the day.
Is this a new ad or an old ad?
Very old ad, and it's like a very, very badly done CGI. It's sort of like Kino level cartoon of a gorilla. And he's like, "Oh, you hungry?" And he's like, gives him a banana. He's like, "I know what you need," and it's like this Euros. Type in Kuda.
I don't know how to spell that.
Kouta, then just like Euros ad, like kebab ad.
So just Kuta ad.
Yeah, or kebab ad. Yeah.
I'm not writing his whole name. Kutafides.
I don't know how to spell the whole thing.
Right. Kuta gorilla.
He's actually running for. I think he was running to be like an MP in Melbourne.
Oh,
somewhere.
that guy.
Oh, you're right. It came up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's
yeah.
watch this, bro.
Hang on, can we...
You hungry? You want something to eat? I've got something for you. Here you go.
Tosses in the Euros.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Kino graphic is bang on. Like it's,
Dude,
it's
it's full Kino graphic. It's like, and it would have cost a lot of money back in the day.
What? You want a souvlaki? Well, you'll have to impress me, monkey.
It sounds like he's doing it in a bathroom.
Souvlaki hut. You'll do anything to get one.
Slovaki hut, casual Greek restaurants, kids eat free. Wow.
Is that just Adelaide or what is that?
I think
No,
it's,
that's Melbourne.
it's got 1.8 million views.
Does
that
it
ad.
say what year it was? In the
He's a
comments?
Melbourne guy.
Yeah, right.
You should know this guy, Kuda.
I don't know.
Don't mind the song.
I wonder if we're
Souvlaki
going to
hut. You
end up back in court for using the Souvlaki hut. name.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
How bad is that ad though? I love it.
Hey, can we, Liam, talk about your lovely Shrek do
Yeah,
yesterday?
Yeah, we can.
That
Yep.
was fantastic.
Thank you.
It was
I actually
really good.
did that before work on Friday. I have a really tight schedule.
That
It would
was
have been good, I reckon, if she did like a big like prosthetic nose. That would have been nice.
Very good. No, I actually bought that was a leftover nose from Shrek the musical that I bought online.
What do you mean?
what?
They were selling this. If you look up like Shrek prosthetics,
Right.
which is something that I had to Google 3 months ago. Yeah, you can buy bits and bobs. So
Hang on, so the musical's here in Australia,
There was a Shrek the
yeah,
musical.
there was a Shrek the musical.
right?
Yeah.
And they're selling like old stuff they don't need anymore.
Yeah, I looked online and surprisingly there was a Shrek nose in Melbourne. It got to me like within one day,
Wow.
and she
Honey,
custom.
my Shrek nose is here.
Yeah, honey, my Shrek nose is here. But the glue, oh geez, it run right on my skin. I was so like, I went out to dinner with Sarah after the show on Friday, and I was like, oh, I'm so dry and oily and tight and sore and crispy at the same time. Like there was, because it took about 4 hours to get all that crap on, but easily over an hour to get it off.
What were the ears? How are they on you?
So they are like the ears, the little antlers. They were made. Gina, the lady who does it for me, she made them out of like foam, and then she glued them onto the bowl cap that I had on, like that was like glued onto my head, and then she like
Taped
just
your
put
ears
like
back?
extra tape and stuff in there. Yeah.
Wow.
And
So
then
my
just
head was all
painted
like
you.
glad wrapped in there, and then I was like fully painted on my arms and chest and like face and then like you know like the eyeliner and stuff and got right in there and
Wow.
yeah. So it's more like the
Whoa.
glue for the glue to set and all that sort of.
Did you keep everything, or did you?
I did keep the nose and the ears. I doubt I'll ever use it again, but I was like,
You
well,
never know.
You never know, huh?
Hey,
you
that
never know.
bald cap that you use quite regularly, I think. No, that was yours.
Oh no, these are no. The bowl cap I use for like budget Voldemort when
Mm.
I use the sticky tape for my videos. That's just a rubber bowl cap. But
Yeah,
these are like
yeah.
actual like latex bowl caps.
Yeah,
like that you can
wow.
only use them once. So you got to cut your head. Like you got to,
Oh,
and then you use
okay.
like oils and stuff to like melt the glue around your head. So it because it's all glued on there.
Imagine being like a Hollywood star on a red carpet.
I was
and
thinking
they
that.
would,
I was like,
they would
yeah.
have that level of stuff on them. And
Or
you'd be
even if
like,
you were in,
"Ew."
even worse, if you're in Shrek the musical,
Yeah.
you don't,
Every
like,
day.
yes.
And you can't sweat.
Well, Jim Carrey, like that would be hard getting the Grinch costume, but you're still Jim Carrey, right? And you've
Mm.
got this like huge $1 million movie that you're getting paid really well for. If you're just the dude who plays Shrek and Shrek the musical,
Yeah.
you still got to do all the shit, but you're not Mike Myers. You know what I mean? Like
Worst
you
part
got to
is-
put the
Sitting
singer.
there in front of the mirror like, why am I
On a
doing this?
on a Sunday, if you're doing the marinette, you got to do 2 shows.
Matinee.
You leave it on.
Matinee, Ben.
Matinee. What do I say?
Marionette, which is a
Marionette.
type of puppet. That is a type of puppet. Yeah, you would feel like a
Very
puppet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's very true. You'd have to go out in Shrek face, get lunch, go to some Lucky Heart, have a dart. So I exclusively like film stuff at home as well,
Yeah.
right? But this is the first time I left the house in it. But only like I said to Sarah, like I had this idea for a video. I'm like, hey, can you just help me? Like I just need this like one shot. And she's like, nah, no way, not leaving. And I was like, like can we just go like around the corner? Like I know. She's like, just film it outside, and I'm like, no, because I need like a bit of time to walk. Like you get it if you've seen the meme.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you. I don't think anyone's going to steal the video in the next
Because
week.
this is one you haven't posted.
I haven't posted it
Yeah, I
yet,
was gonna say,
but you know
I
those
didn't see
videos. I just thought because honestly, sometimes I've got a fairly good idea of what I'm going to say and stuff. I didn't really think too much about what I was going to do with Shrek. I was more excited about the costume and I didn't really think about so. But I also had hours sitting there being like, okay, what am I going to do for? And I was like, oh, what's like an easy thing? Because I'm like, I've done a few ones. I've done like the alphabet and I'm pretty sick of it. They take ages and it's like I'm sort of over them now. So I was like, oh, you know that meme? And it's like people walk up and they're like, hey, what are you listening to? And they take their headphones out. They're like, what? Sorry. And
Yeah.
then it says like, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be like man crying or whatever. And then they walk off and the sound plays.
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be funny if I could somehow get it so the headphones are like in the Shrek ears, and I walk past and like, what are you listening to? Like, obviously Smash Mouth, like
Yeah,
All Star,
that's
and then like put
cute.
them back in the
That's
thing.
cute.
So she was like, I fully had to like beat her down. I was like, please, like, just like I've got all this shit on me. I paid all this money to get this. She's like, okay, fine. She's like, I'll pull the car up like as close as I can to the house. You jump in. We were doing it like it was like a president trying to go out the back entrance if there was like an assassination attempt. She was like, go. So got in the car. And like, swung it around the back alley, and she was like, "Cover yourself! Like I can't have anyone. I don't want any of the neighbors seeing." And then we just found like a quiet alleyway, and like no one actually saw us. I was like, "Someone's gonna see us for sure," but it was just good. It was just like a quiet.
Imagine if, like, you know how they go, like, Jennifer Aniston spotted, like, filming this thing in New York, and someone, like, is like, I think that's
guy,
Liam.
Borat guy doing Shrek now.
That's great. I thought you were going to say you were doing that meme. You know that filter where people have Shrek over their shoulder?
Oh,
You had
actually, that would
Sarah,
have been
and then you'd
good.
be like, "Meh."
That would have been good,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, missed op. Because you have it on, and then it's one of those ones that you're like, I'm not going to get it on again, right? So you want to
Totally.
get like it. But yeah, I got a few out of
Yeah.
it.
Good.
Yeah.
I
I also
also-
had, sorry, I had this other one. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I was just like arguing with myself, like with the camera like below my chin. And I was going to do one where it's like when you're arguing with Babe, but you got the Shrek 5 premiere. It's like having this like heaps hectic argument. You know what I mean? But you're all dressed up. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Are you holding that for, like, 2 years when Shrek 5
Yeah, I
comes
know.
out?
I think it's a while away still.
I was excited for you, Liam, when I saw that you changed your Facebook name from Crumb and Chris to Liam James.
No. In fact, Crumb and Chris is still rolling.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No real point in having it as a Finster anymore, I suppose. But no, Liam James. Well, hang on. No, what? This defeats the whole purpose of. This defeats the whole purpose. No. So,
We can beep that.
yeah. Thanks. That'd be great. So I
We'll see.
I
I think I
decided.
might have run out of beeps.
A lot of people have said, like, oh, like I saw your thing on Facebook, and I'm always like, I don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
And I went onto Facebook, and there was like 5 different accounts, like just
Really?
reposting my videos, and like they're not me, but like getting. And I was like, I can't really complain if I don't even have it myself. So then I started a Facebook, and yeah, and then I put a thing up on my Instagram story saying, hey, I've had some problems with some scam accounts, like this is my real one, and then everyone was just messaging me like, this is a scam. And they're like, no, this is not the scam. But
How
yeah.
can you get verified on Facebook? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
But yes, but aside from your public one, there is your new private one, or is that also public?
No, that is private.
Yeah, right.
So
that
the one
is-
that you want us to beep.
yes, is just like I don't even use that. It's just purely you need, I think, an account, like a personal account to
Yes.
run a business account.
Yeah.
I
So then
think.
why do you have Crumb and Chris?
Well, that's so I can look at porn. I'm just kidding.
But hang on, but the one that you're using now is your private. You had a private one. We used it for Messenger.
Yeah.
So is that the same one?
Same one. It's just the name's just changed on
Oh,
it.
But
Yeah,
why
so-
can't you use the one that I said before, the one you want redacted? Why can't you just use that on like the Pod Squad?
I will. Yeah, I will.
You will?
I will
Oh,
now use
so
that.
we can
yeah.
say it.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, whatever. I just didn't want people, if they were like searching it, to like find the other one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going through my. Like, you actually feel
So
like
you have 3? Crumb and Chris.
I'll get rid of Crumb and Chris.
Oh.
But why do you have it? That's what I don't
I don't. I just at the time I never like I deactivated that other one.
Yeah.
I didn't have a business account, so if I wanted to see anything on the Alpha Squad, I
Right.
had like this account that I
Yeah.
never used, but I just like log in and
Yeah.
like, that's how I would see the Alpha Squad
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's funny though because I would like to think of myself as like, oh yeah, like I do lots of videos and stuff. So you think, oh yeah, sort of like I like social media. I think I'm like savvy with Instagram and TikTok, but it's like so funny when obviously Facebook is the older person sort of thing. But now having so long off Facebook and then getting back onto Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm like, how does this bloody thing work? Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, and that's why I feel like I've got all these, and like even Ben, because I was deleting all my info, and then I was deleting all the info off of it. It was like single. I'm like, well, I'm not single. I am married. So I changed. I said, I better say like that at least that I'm married. And then Ben sent me a screenshot saying, would have been nice to be invited, mate, because it was like Liam,
Got married yesterday.
and then so many people
We're commenting congratulations on your post.
Dude, random people who I haven't seen, obviously, because anyone who actually knows me would know that I got married like
Yeah.
2 years ago. But people that I weirdly have on Facebook, which I, haven't used in like almost 10 years, are like, congrats, man. Like, bloody hell. Good to see you doing well. Like, what? I just was completely dark for like a decade, and then I'm like, I'm married.
That's funny.
But, oh, yeah, and the amount of, I was just like, okay, that's a soccer coach from when I was 14. Yep, she's lovely, but that's from PBA FM, the station I worked at when I was
Aw.
14, 15.
I wonder what they think you do now then, if they haven't actually kept up with
Yeah, I
you.
don't know.
Weird.
I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, we are going to be starting a segment on air tonight, which you may remember that we used to do in the off-air podcast, which is definitely a very fresh and new idea
Mm.
called Clickbait Monday.
Yes.
And-
And we... Sorry to cut your lunch there, Bill.
No, that's fine.
You can do it if you want. If you can handle it,
No, you do it.
go on.
Please
No,
take
go on. I
over.
want to see you. I want to see you do it.
So we used to do it here on the off-air podcast, and we thought we'd do a practice round ahead of it being on the show tonight. We do already have the intro, though, but I don't think we can play all of it.
I can play the first bit of it.
Well, that's just going to be shit.
We'll have to check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clickbait Monday.
And then
a letter.
Yeah.
cut.
Before we get to
'Cause
Mumbo number 5.
Yeah, don't even say it, because Lou Bega will come for us all.
Slew Beggar.
Yeah,
And it's
we-
also a lot of departed off-air or staff members.
Well, true, and I feel like we're already on Amber Alert with the Savlaki Hut music in this podcast, so
Yep.
we just got to, we're just going to be careful. You may have noticed that the regular show pod has been stripped of all life and audio because we can't use music. And there's so many segments that we do which are actually pretty fun that we just don't put in the pod
The
anymore.
song one, yeah.
yeah,
And you've got a skit tonight that you said can't go in.
yeah, I think I'll make it royalty free.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
But
well,
yes,
I guess also if you want to hear the
Just
magic, just listen to the radio
listen
show
live,
6
baby.
to 9.
it's always
6
going to
to
be
8.
here.
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Wow.
Hopefully they don't try and push that.
Yeah. That was a mistake. 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Oh, just quickly, we've talked about the move coming up.
Yeah, because you let the cat out of the bag famously.
No,
Yeah, they are.
but anyway.
The move that you were dying to do that we loyally
Yeah, the
followed.
advertiser are writing articles about it.
Yeah.
Because Bell bloody, you know.
Yeah, they had to send out an all-staff email
Did
on,
you see-
on to the Melbourne team before the advertiser leaked it.
Yeah.
Even though
Did
Bell
you see
leaked
the
first.
Facebook? Did you see the Facebook post about it?
No.
Oh, I did that thing where I clicked into the comments.
On the advertiser post.
Yeah.
I don't do that. This is why I got rid of Facebook 10 years ago. I've only just come back.
I saw one that I did actually see it when it was fresh, had 6 comments, 5 of them were tags. And then, so just for context, the actual article
I'm
said,
excited for this.
Popular.
popular, that's the, yeah. It said
Oh, yeah.
popular radio show moving
Yeah.
back from
And that's,
Melbourne to
and I
Adelaide.
would say, I would comfortably say that's because we know the person who wrote the article. Like
Yeah.
Adelaide it's big enough that you know people in the media, and
Yeah.
that's nice that
Yeah.
he said that.
And I saw one comment that's pretty fresh. It was like 5 minutes after it was posted. It
Yeah.
just said in like parentheses, popular.
Real old man, like, oh, popular.
And I wanted to comment, we're number 1, but I didn't do
comment
that.
and say more popular than you, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's not a good look. But then there was another comment that said, no stamina.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
And then people were like defending it. To be fair, people were defending us in the
No
comments.
stamina?
No stamina. Like,
As in, we couldn't handle
it.
Melbourne.
Yes. I
And
think-
we're like, oh,
What?
couldn't possibly. But then,
Isn't
yeah,
that
someone,
funny how, like, people from Adelaide, if you
Mm.
move to Melbourne, they're like, oh, you're cheating out on Adelaide. And then if
Yeah.
you come back, they're like, you couldn't handle the big smoke. You've come back to us.
But yeah, someone had commented and defended and said, actually, you haven't read the article because it says that they're doing the same show just back in Adelaide. But yeah, and then there was just a few
No stamina. I did see that one.
What is that? No stamina.
But then I put up a post on Insta last night, and in one of the photos were my packing boxes, and it had on the boxes SA. It's circled around. And-
Easter egg there.
Yeah, it was. If you
Dripping that out for
hadn't
the
seen it.
Tizer.
But then I got 2 DMs from like people that I think listened in Adelaide, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're moving back!" And I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool."
Yeah,
They've noticed
right.
that. And then they were like, "Great, like that's so great. Missed you, classic. Missed you guys. Can't believe you've taken so much time off air."
Well,
Actual?
Yeah, and I was like, I replied and said, "No, we've been on air nationally every
well,
night,
yeah, it's fine.
but it's fine. It's fine. It's all good." So, yes.
so we're going to do Clickbait Mondays on the radio show. We thought just because we're a little bit rusty, the way it'll work is we'll get listeners to give us their clickbait headlines, so 3 words. That's all they can say. We're going to have $100 a night or $100 every week, and we get to pick one headline and we get to hear that story.
Hang on, is that a prize or our cash money? Because
I think it's from our budget.
bloody hell, do we just want to put up a prize instead?
Well,
do
I
we want to
don't
use our budget for
I just
this?
think it sounds good to be like, you got a $50 food voucher.
No, we got those. The voucher's done. Maybe the voucher
Yeah, the
might be
voucher's
done.
done. Yeah,
Hey, to your dinner tonight.
Was it $100, did you say?
I like 100.
Yeah.
I like we
Do
have
we
100.
want to spend our
I
budget
like
on that?
we
though?
have $100 to buy one story.
Yeah.
I like how that sounds.
Yeah, it sounds pretty
with a Guzmani Gomez voucher.
Yeah. I mean, I love Guzmani Gomez, but I just don't know if that's the prize for this bit.
I don't know if we want to spend our budget.
I mean,
on
what's
this.
better, $100 or $50 Guzmani Gomez? Because you could spend $100 at Guzmani Gomez.
Yeah. Also, we haven't really
Yeah.
used our budget at all this year. Like, what have we used our budget on?
Well, we don't know, but it's about saving for a rainy day. What
It
if
is- no,
suddenly
but
we go,
there-
oh my god,
There's a
we
point
wanna...
there's a point where you've oversaved and you've saved up. For, like, yeah, we should use it when we need it.
Okay.
How's Frugal McDougal? over there? Bloody.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Don't
Uh,
come to me later when you go, we want to, wrap Liam's car in something, and we go, well, we don't have any budget.
We'll find
so-
the money.
Yeah,
We always find
we can
the money.
self-fund. You think
Yeah.
I use the Nova budget to turn into Shrek on the weekend?
We'll self-fund it.
Self-funded.
All right.
Self-raised funds.
Okay.
I can go first if you want.
Sure.
I don't know if these are two words, as in like the first 2 might be considered 2 words. I don't know. Facebook, is that 1 word?
Wait, hang on. Does it have to be 3 words?
3 words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Facebook 1 word?
That's one word,
great.
man. Bless.
Marketplace,
Mhm.
is that 1 word?
Yes.
Okay, great. Facebook, marketplace, disaster.
Sarah's interesting decision.
Mm.
Pretty good.
Fought stranger's grandma.
Which feels like you would have done that on Facebook Marketplace.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll go Bell.
oh, okay. Bless. Thanks. I'll go Liam for Sarah.
And I'll go Ben. It looks like we've got ourselves a Mexican
Parliament.
stand-up here, boys.
Why don't we do a rock-off?
Okay.
3-way rock-off. So
Yep.
when someone's defeated, they're out, and then
Yep.
we keep going.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Doesn't
Oh,
count.
we're
Doesn't
going
count.
together.
Bell was nowhere near
I
ready.
didn't know. I
Whoa,
thought.
cowgirl.
Sorry.
It's a
Me and Liam
three-way.
ready.
It's a
Sorry.
three-way.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh,
Well,
I just
Belle beat us
outright.
both.
Bell beat
Oh
us.
my
Shit, man. We both went rock and Bell wrapped us.
Hang on. Does that mean we hear Bell's story, or
Yeah.
she gets to choose?
No, I think that means we hear mine.
Unless you want to hear one of us.
Yeah, it's up to you. You get to decide.
It's up to you. You have the deciding
If
factor.
you want to pick
I would
your
like
own,
$100, please. So can I?
we don't have that in the budget. I'm saving that for a rainy day.
What do you want? Do you want me to just choose one
It's
of
up to you.
Up to you. You know the strength of your own, so you can roll the dice on a 50-50 of what happened to Ben and myself, or you can tell your thing.
Facebook Marketplace disaster or mishap or whatever. And what was yours?
Disaster.
Leah,
Sarah's interesting choice, and then you had Fort Swans grammar.
I don't want to pick myself. That's weird if I do that. But then I don't want to make one of you mad. This is really hard. I'll go.
Remember your
Liam.
training.
I'll go
all right,
Liam.
All right.
Okay. Well,
If it's that she got a fringe, I'll be pissed.
no, she's had a fringe for a
Okay,
while
good,
now. But she was like, "Oh, I really want to watch this movie. Like, I really want to watch a movie this weekend." I was like, "Oh." She never wants to watch anything, and it's actually like a pretty, like, sometimes it's annoying because I want to enjoy a show with her. Like, I try and pick stuff that we can both get into, but most of the time she's just like on her phone, and I'm just scratching her head, just watch whatever I want, which is pretty, like, works for me, to be honest. But she was like, "Oh, like, please." So she's like, "I don't know if you want to watch it or not, but like, all I want to do."
Please say War Dogs.
Even more like funny than that, I reckon. She's like, "I just want to watch Fast and Furious."
Like a real nostalgia here.
Yeah. She loves Fast. I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I'm not like a big rev head. I don't really like cars that much. So I was like, "Oh, I mean, you sure? Like, do we want to?" I'm like, I don't know why I'm arguing. Like, that's such a funny role of it. Like,
Yeah.
why am I the one arguing against watching Fast and Furious? So I was like, "Oh, let's watch them." And
Them.
well, yeah, the plan is we only sort of got through the first one. But
Yeah.
the plan is and we actually started the Fast and Furious. Silly because it's the Fast and the Furious is the first one. Fast
Yeah.
and Furious is like the fourth one or whatever. When there's
No,
like
you're
the
thinking,
truck thing
you're
at the
thinking
start.
of that's number 2. That's Too Fast, Too Furious. That's number 2.
Which one's the one where there's
The truck one's the first one though. With
yeah, but there's
CD
okay.
players.
I'm just realizing there's lots of truck ones at the start. Yeah,
Right.
The first one, you're right. There's some Panasonic TVs or
Yeah.
something in the back, and
Yeah.
they're
He's got a
green
shotgun.
sort of- yeah,
that,
dude.
really-
Yeah,
that lives in my head rent free. The truck driver with the shotgun and he gets him through the
yeah.
through the window.
It's crazy. But then there's like I know, but the lines in it are so funny.
Yeah.
What year was the
You
first
know, it was
one?
like, "Hey, why'd you bring the Buster?" And he turns around and he's like, "'Cause the Buster!" You're like,
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
"Why'd you bring the Buster here?"
Yeah.
'Cause the Buster is the only one that came back for me.
I like the when he's just been hitting on what's the guy called, the one who wears a lot of singlets, not Vin Diesel.
Yeah. He's like the dickhead.
Yeah,
sort
the
of,
dickhead. Yeah, and his sister.
He's like, "No one likes tuna."
Yeah, why do you come here?
Yeah.
I like the tuna salad.
No
one likes the tuna,
tuna
salad.
and he calls him an F-bomb.
Yes, I think he was an asshole.
Yeah, I watched on the weekend. He
Yeah,
does call him an FA, whatever.
Yeah, right.
I kind of wish I picked Ben's now.
I like it.
yeah,
it.
no, it's
no,
good.
fair.
I've never seen any of them, so I
You've
don't
never
know.
seen them.
No, I haven't. Nah.
It's like, and he's like, "I almost had you." He's like,
Yeah.
"Granny shifting, should have been double clutching. You almost had me," and everyone's like,
That's the famous one where it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Yeah.
Winning's
Winning's
winning. And he's got
winning.
tons of chicks, but he
He's
just
got
wants
so
his-
many chicks.
So many chicks.
Wait, yeah.
At one point,
what year
there's
was
like
it?
5 chicks around him, and his girlfriend walks up and
2002,
he's
I
like, she's like, "I smell hose," or something like that.
Yeah, she like hisses at them.
She's like, "I smell hose," and they all
They run
scramble,
away.
and he's like, "I was just talking to him." Yeah, and his name's Brian.
Yes,
And also,
Brian
like, when they
is, yeah.
leave, because the guys, they take them to Chinatown on the motorbikes.
Yep.
And then they like leave, and they're like, "We got away with one there," and they come back and they shoot the car. up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the torture scene with the oil, he's making him drink it.
So we didn't even get to that bit, but
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Hang on. So the Fast and the Furious is 2001. That's the first one.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, then they just get rid of the words "the" and it becomes Fast and Furious.
Oh, right, I thought it was Too Fast, Too Furious.
No, that's
Can
the
you
second
go
one.
because
Is
there's
too,
like 12 of
Too
them.
Fast,
Yeah.
Too Furious.
That's what I'm saying. That's the second one, right?
No, and then the fifth one is Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
right.
do
Yeah.
that. How can you just have the Fast and the Furious and just drop
And
that and
so
then
I'm
go
curious.
Fast and Furious?
I know
Can
the
you
third,
run through it?
The third is Tokyo Drift.
I think that's 4.
No, it's
yeah,
3.
no, that's 4.
What's 3?
Third is the turbocharged prelude.
No, that doesn't exist. What is that? That's not a thing.
That is.
Because Tokyo Drift.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. It's 6 minutes long.
Yeah, no. So the third one is Tokyo Drift,
Correct.
and then they go because they do the iconic ones like the same cast, and then they go away do Tokyo Drift, and there's a famous. So it's in Tokyo Drift, it's a whole new cast, and they're in Tokyo. It's all about drifting, not about like speed. And then at the very end, because there's this American guy, and he's like an exchange student, and he gets into the scene, and he's not very good, and they'll call him Cowboy, and he gets really good at the end, and he ends up winning the big race.
Yeah.
But the best thing about that is, it ends with like this guy's now the king of Tokyo. He won the big race. He's the big dog, and he pulls up to the drift meet, and there's this other guy there. So there's rumors of this other American guy,
Oh, I know who it's going to be.
and the camera pans back, and it's just a big V8
Whoa.
muscle car, and it's Vin
Yeah.
Diesel. But you don't ever see
Shit,
him.
yeah.
You know it's him. In
You
that
know
car.
it's Vin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like there's other corny things that are coming back to me now. You know, the first time he goes to the car meet and he's like, check it. I don't have the money, but he's like, if I win, I get the money and the respect. And he's just like, and he has the pink slip. And he's like, if I lose, you get my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the actual storyline?
Well,
So Brian
He's a cop.
Rip is a undercover cop.
Oh, and that's
He's a
Paul.
fan.
And so,
Paul Walker, yeah.
in the underground car scene, there's a lot of crime. They do a lot of burglaries. They rob trucks, stuff like that. And so they want to catch him. So they send Brian in as an undercover cop, but he ends up falling in love with the whole scene. And there's a girl that he likes in the scene.
Vin Diesel's sister.
Vin Diesel's sister.
Wait, in the movie or in real life?
In the movie.
And then they
Oh,
end up
right.
finding out, like towards the end, that he's an undercover cop. Breaks the trust because he's like a brother to him already.
And this is all in the first
This is all in the
movie.
first one, and
Yeah.
then he wins the trust back because there's like this big car crash, and because they're like running away from him or something, and he calls a helicopter to save her. So
Yeah.
he kind of forgives him. even
And
though
then
he's
is he
a rat.
in the other ones as well?
Yeah, and then
There's
So
another-
what are the other ones?
there's
They just
a-
keep racing.
they
and
just keep
shit?
getting
Well, they
crazier
go
and
into
crazier.
space in one of
They go
them.
into space in 10.
I think in
10,
10,
yeah.
yeah.
I've heard that
Fast
before.
X, that one. is.
Fast X. Oh, there's also like in the first one, you know, when they're having movie night, having crew movie night, and he's helping her with the dishes, and
Yep.
the guy with the singlet comes in,
Yes.
and he's like, "Hey, little bitch, what
Drinks
are
the
you?"
beer.
Yeah,
drinks
he's
the
like
beer.
calls him a little bitch or something.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Hey," she's just like seducing him. She's like, "What was that place you wanted to take me to?
Mm.
One with the candles?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Cha-chas?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, you can take me." And
Yeah.
turns around to Brian, and then he's like, "Argh!" He's like so angry, he's like punching drywall, and then just like leaves.
Yeah, so there's 10.
No, there's more than that now.
No, then there's 10 part 2, which is coming next year.
Can't wait.
Bloody hell.
Well,
And that's also not including the
Hobbs and Shaw.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw, with Jason Statham.
because Statham
they
and
were the-
Dwayne the Rock Johnson get into it at some point.
Yeah, so they're in it around 6 or 7,
right.
So funny.
and then they were quite popular, I think, in it, so they did a spin-off.
And Vin Diesel doesn't like that,
He
right?
hates
Hang
it.
on, so what's
He
Los
hates The Rock.
Bandoleros?
Because supposedly The Rock wanted to make it all about him, and
Well, yeah,
Vin Diesel was like,
it's
this is Marshall.
I remember everything about my father.
And apparently there was so I think it's in 9, maybe 8, where there's a massive fight scene between those two. But they both had it written into their
That they had
contract
to
that there couldn't be a winner. Because The Rock was like, well, he can't beat me.
Are you
And Vin Diesel was like, well, he
serious?
can't beat me. So it ends with them, like no one win. They break it up.
It's so funny.
So it's like, they're both like, ready to go.
They're both ready to
Sounds
fight.
like your contracts.
Both ready to kill.
Yeah.
If you both fight, you both win.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
Alright,
no,
well, that's cute.
I must admit, I kind of do want to go on a fast tear now because there's definitely I'm patchy. Like I've seen a few in the
They're
movies,
so
but I haven't seen all
corny
of
that
them.
it's funny.
But
Yeah.
they weren't meant to be,
'Cause
were
the
they?
No. Yeah, it's so crazy. But also, just sorry, but like I know we've been talking about Fast, the franchise, for a long time. But even in the first one, when they have the first meetup, and it's Brian, I can't even Toretto,
Jesse?
and then there's the other two. They're
Yeah.
racing, and they're literally going like 4,000 k's an hour. Like, everything is in like warp speed. It's like, you know, in Star Wars when they go hyperspeed and they're landing. Because if
Yeah.
you watch it back, you're like, no one is driving that fast
Yeah.
on a road.
How fast are they supposed to be going? Like 200 Ks?
it's literally like everything's like a
warp
blur.
speed,
It's like a blur, and sometimes some other car will come up in the blur, and they'll like look at each other for a sec, and then he'll hit the NOS, and then he'll hit it again. It's like.
And doesn't his NOS not work because the computer shuts down? He's
Yeah,
like,
and he's like, come on, because they're all like, they've all got so many computers and
Yeah.
things in their car.
And then the car blows up, loses the race, and then he
Mm.
gives him the pink slip, and he says, "Come by the garage tomorrow." And then he rocks up, and then
It's all busted.
aren't they ragging his engine?
Yeah, they're like, psh, and then they're like,
Two cylinders.
yeah, they're like, psh, look at this, and he's like, well, hang on a sec. He's like, let the mad scientist have a look at it. And it's like, psh, you got a pro shifter in here, you know this shit, like the guy with the beanie, and
Yeah, Jesse.
also, oh no, I've just realised there's another thing. The girl, there's the racer, and the girl comes up, and she just grabs his hand and
This
just
is
puts
they're
him on her
yours.
boobs and goes,
Yeah.
this is all yours,
Yeah.
Papa. And she's like, "Did you win the race? You get her too."
Yeah.
And points over.
At the friend, yeah.
Yeah, and then he loses, and then
Yes.
he comes over, and I can't say what she says to him. It's almost as bad as what the guy says with the tuna sandwich. So you can go back and watch the lines. But I was like,
Yeah.
and everyone goes, "Oh!" Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious would be a good one to watch if you ever did like a podcast.
Yeah,
movie
about
night.
like watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It says based on Racer X.
God
so I think
knows.
it may have
God
been a
knows what
book.
it is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for listening
that's
to our half-hour podcast on Fast and Furious and Shrek.
Yeah, it's true. And tomorrow, actually, we are going to be giving away our very, very fancy, expensive headphones
Mm-hmm.
because we have decided on a winner for our new podcast intro.
Yep.
But hey, you got 24 hours if you want to. I mean, have we
Yeah.
haven't told. Oh.
If you want to send something in, you can send something in.
Yeah.
We've already picked a winner, though.
Yeah, we.
We'll be excited to reveal that tomorrow.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye.